but it has pleased the Lord to make you a people for himself. Once again, for the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it has pleased the Lord to make you a people for himself. Amen. This was speaking to the children of Israel. God was not going to forsake his children no matter how many times. Y'all can be seated in the presence of the Lord. No matter how many times Israel turned their back on God, no matter how many times they went and worshiped false gods and idols, no matter how many times they got out of his presence, no matter how many times they turned their back on him, a loving God who brought them out of Egypt, who saved them through everything, who provided their every single need in the wilderness. You know, they ate angel food. He brought water from a rock. And no matter how many times that God brought them through and showed himself mighty and powerful in ways that we can't even imagine, they still managed to turn their back on him. They still managed to question God. They still managed to question, why have you brought us out of Egypt? You brought us out here to die. And not realizing all the things that God had done for them, that he could do it again for them. Everything that God brings us through is for a testimony. It's for a testimony for his might, for his glory, that we may be able to exalt his holy name. That through our testimonies that he does for us, we're supposed to be able to win the lost. We're supposed to be able to win the other nations. That's what God wanted out of his children Israel. He wanted them to be a different, a set apart, a peculiar people, to be a light to the other nations that were around them, not to conform to their ways, not to conform to the world, not to conform to the sins that they were a part of. For the whole reason that God had turned his back on him, that he was going to kick them out of the land that they had and give it to Israel. He didn't want Israel to be like the other people. He wanted them to be a chosen people, a set apart people, a sanctified people. And just like the children of Israel, God never forsook them. Just like us, when we get saved, God will never leave us. He will never forsake us. He will never turn his back on us. He will never take his hand off of us. Even whenever, this little, introduce myself, I'm Brother Brian Webb. My wife Christy's back there. It's my son Elijah. I was raised independent fundamental Baptist. Whatever that means. My wife was raised Catholic. Hallelujah. And now we're children of God. We're under one body. We're in the unity of the body of Jesus Christ. We're covered under the blood. We're all part of one body. I don't care what denomination you are. It does not matter. If you're confessing Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior of your life, that his blood is all the way to heaven, and that's all that matters. Right. We need to tear down denominational barriers, because denominational barriers are man-made. God did not put those into place. Man did. Man put his interpretations on that. And so why can't just because somebody has a difference of doctrine or opinion, why can't we worship together? Why can't we go out and be a light for Jesus Christ? Just because we have certain differences. We need to be about the Lord's business. We need to be going into the highways and the hedges. We need to be dirtying up the stall a little bit in this day and age that we live in. We all see this world and the destruction that's going on. This nation that was founded upon God and his principles and everything, the way that Israel was founded is the way our forefathers founded this nation. It's time for this nation to get back.